You know, I never knew that there was the actual chance that you're going to be discredited for using voice synthesizer technology, text-to-speech crap. And yes, I am referring to Gecko9083. He won't stop bitching about people doing this shit. Anyway, fucking for a minute, I want to talk about Bomberman, as in Bomberman the icon, who's never had a big press release or anything just revolve around him. There's a new game called Bomberman Blast coming out, and there's like no one talking about it. I mean, not that I really care, but one thing for sure is that I'm just looking around here, and there's Bomberman being considered an icon to the industry, and no one really gives a fuck about the guy. I mean, seriously, what the fuck happened to Bomberman? And that's what I want to know. Bomberman is a very fun franchise. Every single game that comes out is always a blast after another one. He's always getting bad publicity, like for instance having just a terrible story mode for some reason. I mean, single player aside, alright, let's see here. Back in the 80s or whatever, Bomberman's games have always had single player modes that sucked ass. And I'm telling you, Bomberman Zero had nothing compared to this, the shittiness of the NES games. Not that it really matters right now. But I want to talk about a few things in regard to the Bomberman franchise. If it's such an icon, why isn't he, the talk of the town? Or why isn't he regarded as a favorite among many people? I mean, usually when you go to, like, any type of Bomberman forums, they're usually just empty as hell. Despite the fact that Bomberman Live is one of the highest selling games of all time, and yet there's still nobody talking about it. However, when I go to a Mega Man forum or Mario or Sonic forums, there's just talk of so many new games coming out, which is kind of funny because Sonic has been doing abysmally as a franchise. There's many people that have decided to apply discontinuity to the majority of the games. 06 being one of the biggest stabs at Sega possible, and yet there's more people talking about that game than there is about Bomberman Blast. When it comes to Mega Man, he's getting a whole lot of publicity over Mega Man 9, which is an 8-bit game, and he's getting more publicity over that. But Bomberman is coming out with a new game that's actually going to take advantage of Mii's, and is actually going to have new power-ups and new gameplay elements. And there's no one about it. No word, no news, or anything about it. It's just like, okay, well, Bomberman Live is still fun. I'm not going to buy another game for it. I don't understand. I mean, sure, Bomberman has had the same type of multiplayer gameplay for years and tried to innovate with the 64 games, and no one liked those for no damn reason. Hold on for a minute. God damn, that's some good juice. And like I was saying, no one actually cared for the 64 games, considering that the multiplayer had done a radical change to the gameplay with Radio Blast and such. I'll tell you one thing: Bomberman 64 is the epitome of Bomberman awesome, basically. So anyway, I just want to talk about Bomberman Blast. And like I said, it's going to be a new game. There's going to be 2 different versions of it. A WiiWare version that's going to have just both basic multiplayer, but the retail version, which will probably be $40 to $50, is going to have Mii support. It's going to have a single player mode, and it's going to have a lot more features, such as being able to use your Mii's in an actual multiplayer match. Now, there aren't much details about the game, aside from the fact that there's a new rocket propeller power-up and a shield power-up that actually protects you from frontal blast. And that's about the only information we got about the game right now, but it's kind of funny. If Bomberman's this great icon, where is the press? Where is the hype? Where is the hype? That's what I want to know. And when I watched Guardian Earth's video about why Bomberman isn't in Brawl, it made me think about something. Bomberman, no one gives a shit about him, And it's become very evident. A lot of people always go back on the Super Bomberman games as if they're the only good games in the franchise. Now, I notice a lot of gamers do this with many franchises, like only a certain era of video games are all the greatest things of all time. You see a lot of people going on about Zelda Ocarina of Time being the only game that exists in the Zelda franchise, whereas Wind Waker kicks the shit out of it in every way imaginable. You see people going around Final Fantasy VII as that's the only game in the franchise that ever exists. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like that's the only game that ever exists. Mario games, Well, who knows why the hell Mario got it easy? Maybe, I don't know, shit. Then you got Mega Man saying that Mega Man 2 is the only game that it fucking exists, which is one of the most annoying things of all time, because that game is a piece of shit. But, you know, and then we have Super Bomberman. Now, granted, I haven't played all Bomberman games. I don't own all the Bomberman games, but one of the things I like about the franchise is that every single installment adds something new to it. For example, Bomberman Max, Blue and Red, they added the Caramel features, which a lot of people consider a blatant ripoff of Pokemon, and then consider it a piece of shit just because they consider it a blatant ripoff of Pokemon. This type of mentality I don't understand. I mean, these are probably the same people that enjoy Sony's products, no matter how much they rip off of Nintendo, and they enjoy them anyway. Now, granted, the Caramel system was implemented poorly and had a really stupid battle system where you had to choose moves and then just watch them fight. Basically, it's all luck. So, but you know, it was actually a pretty unique experience. I mean, it's not a good experience, but it was actually pretty new for the series. And it was something that really could have revived the franchise if they had advertised their shit more. And then we come to Bomberman Generation and Jetters. These two games, which are also GameCube exclusives, are very, well, except for Jetters. That's actually on the PS2 and Japan only. But you know what? Bomberman Generation and Jetters, these two games are very fantastic and have some of the best multiplayer modes of all time. But I'm going to talk about the single player mode. A lot of people will say that single player will always suck no matter what. And that's just not true. Single player just is short, that's what it is. But if you play Bomberman 64 Second Attack, you would change your mind about single player. And that is like the most, I don't know what to say about that game. That kicked ass. And Generation almost had it right there. Yeah, I mean, it was a good game and all, but the single player was way too damn short. Most of the bosses were easy, or sometimes cheap. Bomber Elite, you bitch. Anyway. And then the Jetters game, which kind of was a disappointment, by all means. Excuse me again. I need to stop doing that. And then Bomberman games always had to add new characters. Now, despite the fact that Sonic is getting a lot of flack for adding new characters, the Bomberman series somehow gets less flack of it. Not that it really matters. I mean, Max is cool and all. And then there's Lilith, the redhead from Bomberman 64 Second Attack. But Palmy is one of the most annoying fucking characters of all time. I don't even know what the fuck they were thinking with that guy. Now, if I were to say that Saturn Bomberman wasn't the best Bomberman game... Wait, what the fuck am I talking about? That is the best Bomberman game. Until I play 64 Second Attack. Alright, that's just my thoughts about that matter. If Bomberman is such an icon, then, you know, where's his hype? Where's everything about him? You don't hear much about the guy. You don't really see much on websites. Video game icons usually have fan sites about the guy, and he has 0 fan sites. And I'm not talking about the Super Bomberman 4 page. That's nothing more than just a more advanced NES manual, Super Nintendo manual. That's not a real fan site, to be honest. Well, that's just my thoughts on the matter. See you later.